Derrick Rose is one of the most famous and beloved NBA players of this century. He was one of the youngest players to ever win the MVP award. But this is the world of sports, and injuries are part of life. It isn't always fair how things play out. Rose's career has been dramatically changed by recurring injuries. 26 of the 34 MVP winners have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Will Rose join them? How good was Derrick Rose at the beginning of his career? Derrick Rose shot to stardom as quickly as any player in the history of the NBA. He began his career in Chicago with the Bulls, living under the shadow of the greatest to ever do it, Michael Jordan. But Derrick Rose showed no fear and no sign that the stage was too big for him. By the end of his first 4 seasons with the Bulls in the NBA, Rose was honored with Rookie of the Year, the MVP award, and 3-time All-Star. Take a step back and look at that. You're looking at the rise of one of the greatest young players ever to lace up a pair of sneakers and step on the court. In his second season, Rose was the first Chicago Bulls player to be selected to the All-Star team since Michael Jordan. And then in his third season in the NBA, he was voted to be a starter on the Eastern Conference All-Star game. Was Derrick Rose's crossover the best in the NBA? Handles are a crucial component for a young, fast player in the NBA. From Tim Hardaway to Allen Iverson, the league has always had players with unstoppable dribbles, the kind no defender can stop. Our modern iterations are Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, but there was a time when the deadliest left-to-right crossover was Derrick Rose. He would have defenders wondering where he went as he bolted past them on his way to the basket. His signature move was so devastating that there is testimony from players that got caught up in the whirlwind. Players in their prime during Rose's younger years have all spoken on the record about Rose's incredible crossover and how impossible it was to defend. What made Derrick Rose so difficult to defend and keep from scoring is his agility and speed in combination with his quick shot release. After his first step, he could rise up and hit a jump shot or continue to the rim and use his strength to get over the top of the defense. Guarding Rose was never a fun task. Rose was known to play through pain. When a player uses his body as much as Derrick Rose, they're going to take a lot of contact near the rim. Rose was wired like a Terminator to get right up after each play no matter how hard he was put down. It is unfortunate knowing what we know now because Rose was so strong in his early years. He twisted his knees multiple times and got up, grit his teeth, and got back into the action. Mind over matter, he would say. Rose played with a fearlessness that is necessary to be best in the world at something. He played through knee injuries and ankle tweaks and even hip injuries. In a famous series of events in 2009-2010, Rose and the Bulls played Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic, at the time the best team in the Eastern Conference. Rose injured his hip taking it to the rim against Howard, who's a big force of nature unto himself, and the next time the teams met, he went right back at Howard and got hurt again. The Bulls kept winning. It was clear that Derrick Rose's confidence had a positive impact on his teammates. The only thing that could be seen to suffer at all during the early injuries was his shooting percentage, but it wasn't a big fall. It is expected that shooting percentage may decline simply because of the lack of gameplay on the court. Rose has proven longevity matters. The fall from grace for Derrick Rose was followed closely by fans and analysts over the years. When the injuries started mounting up and having a serious impact on his career, he was still young. It looked like things might be quietly exiting the stage for the young superstar. Eventually, his injuries caught up to him and he was being operated on every year. His knees and legs were not holding up. Between surgeries and rehabilitation, Rose lost about 4 or 5 years of his prime playing years. And even still, he's one of only 13 active players from his draft class left in the league. And if you look at the drafts before that combined, you'll still find only 11 players still lacing up their shoes each night. That is pretty astonishing. And moreover, it is a testament to Rose's perseverance and strength of character. From superstar to journeyman, the life of an NBA player. Few number 1 draft picks hope their careers are thwarted by injury. No players in any sport want to have annual surgeries and rehab throughout the season instead of playing the game they love. But sometimes that is the case. Rose played 406 games for the Chicago Bulls in his first 8 seasons in the NBA. That is, until the injuries took over and changed the trajectory of his career entirely. In 2016, he was traded to the New York Knicks, a team where he could seemingly hide out and rehab his injuries as necessary. The Knicks have been a struggling mass of a franchise over a decade and haven't seen much to show that big change is coming anytime soon. It seemed like a safe place for Rose to get healthy and try to prove himself to the league once again. In addition to suiting up for the Knicks in 2016, Rose has suited up for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Detroit Pistons, and the Knicks again, where he plays now. In total, Derrick Rose has played 287 games total since leaving Chicago. Certainly not what he planned on, but better than several other often injured players have endured. What is Rose's role in today's NBA? Here we are, all these years later after he was initially selected with the #1 draft pick, the coveted star coming to change the face of the NBA. And if you look at it realistically, Derrick Rose is primarily doing what you would expect from a 15-year veteran. Come on, he isn't LeBron James. Who is? Rose is playing the lowest minutes a game of his career, stepping out in the court about 14 minutes a night. Still a good cardio workout. As a grizzled veteran, Rose shares the minutes with all the younger guards on the team, basically filling in time for them when they need a breather. It's no longer the accolades that drive Derrick Rose. Now it's the game, the love of playing basketball and competing. Injuries can prevent players from performing how they did in their primes, but they can still be involved and help their teams in numerous ways. Is Derrick Rose worthy of the NBA Hall of Fame? It's hard to gauge a player's worthiness in the Hall of Fame if they have suffered horrible injuries. A career plagued by injuries is often a cursed one. But in the case of Derrick Rose, he went above and beyond expectations to begin his career. The debate is whether or not it was enough to earn a spot in the Hall of Fame. He is the only Chicago Bull in the history of the franchise to win the MVP award aside from what's that guy's name? If he's called up for the Hall of Fame, he'll be joining other Chicago Bulls legends Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen, Artis Gilmore, Che Walker, and of course, Jordan. The only real argument against Rose is the short period of time he dominated. He had 4 straight seasons of brilliant play until it came crashing down in 2012 when he suffered a devastating anterior cruciate injury, ACL, which derailed his entire career. That was the moment everything changed. Obviously, Derrick Rose playing now, contributing little for the New York Knicks, is a completely different player than he was in his first 4 seasons. One very positive spin we can take on it is that it is a testament to his resilience as an athlete, and it's not just as a guy on a team. Rose was 3rd vote-getter for 6th Man of the Year award in 2021, and in 4 of the seasons since leaving Chicago and fighting constant injury, Rose has averaged 16 points per game or higher, and that is while coming off the bench and averaging less than 26 minutes per game. Is all that enough to earn a spot in the illustrious Hall of Fame? We must keep returning to the MVP award he earned in the midst of LeBron James's league dominance. Rose appeared like a caped hero to thwart the infamous James as he was ascending to villain status with the Miami Heat. For a year, Rose was considered by many to be the best player in the NBA, and that isn't all. Derrick Rose has won 2 gold medals from championship victories with USA Basketball. Team USA won the FIBA Championships, the most important international basketball tournament in the world, in 2010 and again in 2014. His 4-year start to his NBA career was as nuclear hot as any start to a career we'd ever seen by a basketball player, and it began at age 20. Rookie of the Year winner, and he tied Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most points in a rookie debut in a playoff game. Not bad company. Abdul-Jabbar is considered one of the top 3 players to ever play and holds the scoring record for most points over a career. Rose will go down as one of the greats regardless of a Hall of Fame nod. Rose never played for an NBA championship team, which isn't always a deterrent. Tracy McGrady is one of the best scorers the league has ever seen and never won a playoff series, let alone played for a championship. However, making comparisons is difficult. Hard to compare apples and oranges even if they both play basketball. In the end, we know Rose is worthy of consideration, and time will tell which way it plays out. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. We're crossing our fingers that Derrick Rose will be voted into the Hall of Fame when the time comes. Until then, we'll have to wait and see. Good thing we have so many young and talented new players taking over the league. We'll be entertained for years to come. Hit the like and subscribe button, and thanks for tuning in. See you soon.